Hi everyone, so it is time for a new video. I'm starting it here and I'm standing, and I might like switch the location in a second, but it's golden hour time right now and I'm just in love with how this looks. I don't know, maybe it looks like shit on camera, but I don't know, I just saw the lighting from where I was sitting and I was like, you know what, we're gonna start filming. So this is a very spontaneous idea and I'm very excited though. So this is going to be, I think, a 24-hour readathon, and specifically it's kind of going to be themed around Bookoplathon, but I'm basically going to be breaking all the rules. So I think this is probably going to be my second Bookoplathon vlog, so you might have already seen the part 1 that is kind of normal and I read so many fucking incredible books in there and I had so much fun filming it, and so if you haven't seen that, I'm gonna link it down below. And I started part 2 already, and that is like not this, just the same thing, just like again, because that video got too long. And then I was thinking, I just felt like doing a 24-hour readathon and I was like, should I just make it in that vlog? But that just did not really feel like completely exciting. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that. So the normal way that it works is we have this board here and you have 2 pieces of dice and you roll it and you know, move across the board like that, just like a normal game, whatever. Sorry if that is a shitty description, but yes, so you know, like it is basically, you don't get to choose which prompt you're doing, it like chooses that for you. So what we're gonna do today, what we're gonna do in this readathon is we're gonna choose. I'm gonna choose what I do, because the thing is, like, while I'm having so much fun with the readathon, it's like a little tiny bit frustrating that I don't get to choose the prompt. My arm is hurting so fucking bad. I have one book that I have in mind that I absolutely want to read, and then just some other books, and so I want to take this as just like reading books that I'm dying to read. I just need a day or 2 days when I just read whatever I feel like reading. Even though like I'm reading wonderful books for the other vlogs, I just need some freedom. So this way I can figure out my TBR first and make it work for the prompts, as opposed to pick a book that works for a specific prompt. I'm gonna move you to a different spot. My arm is gonna die. I have some books here, and so obviously since I basically have the other vlog still like running and I already know what books I'm gonna read, that I just, you know, I haven't finished a bunch of books that I have on there, and I have some physical books, and I think I also want to read some audiobooks and maybe some ebooks. Not sure, but just I want to read the most exciting things that I have on my TBR and just have fun. That is the plan. We can break all the rules, you know, but I am excited. The first book that I actually just got today, and I forgot that I got it. Like sometimes I often forget little things, and it is amazing when I forget something that is super exciting in this case. And so I went to like the bookstore that I know has like a decent English section, and since this book I'm about to show you is super popular, I was like, they could have it there. Like I had so much hope that they would have it there, and they indeed fucking did, and it was pretty cheap as well. Best thing ever, thanks to my sister. I also had a discount, like could not be better, and that is The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas, and I am so excited for this. And it's really funny because like a part of me did not expect to be as excited as I am feeling right now. So basically, if you didn't know, this book is written by the author of The Spanish Love Deception, which became like a super popular romance last year, and I read it for my Goodreads Choice Awards video and I shared all of my thoughts in there, and I definitely enjoyed the book and I thought it was a really fun, great romance. But I just did not feel as invested in it as I saw a lot of other people be. How did I start that sentence? Whatever. You know, I just did not, unfortunately, completely adore it, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna fucking adore this one. Like, I think this is gonna be a 5-star. I think it's gonna be the best time ever, and I'm dying to read books. In this video especially, I want to read books that are just like extremely addicting. Like, I just want the experience that, like, I'm reading and I'm having the best time and I don't want to stop. Because, like, while I've been reading a lot of exciting books, I feel like the, like, rules of the readathon kind of held me back because I could not fully read the books that I was in the biggest mood for. I think I'm going to start with this, and it is, oh shit, it is 400 pages long, and that was, I think, my biggest issue with the Spanish Love Deception, and I was hoping this is shorter, and I do think it is shorter, but it's clearly still really long. However, I still think I'm gonna fucking love this, because it has two of the things that I love most in this world, and that is the roommates trope. I don't know, like, what specifically is the vibe between the two main characters. Whatever, I don't know the synopsis. I just know that it has the roommates trope, and the hero is supposed to be, like, have golden retriever energy, and, like, that I think is literally my favorite kind of hero, and it's honestly not as common as I would like it to be. And so I'm just so ready for this. I'm very fucking excited, and we're gonna read it together. So I'm a little bit freaked out because, like, any book that has over 350 pages, I'm like, oh shit, like, that's too long. But I still think it's hopefully gonna be super fun and super fast to read. And yes, so let's see what prompt it could work for. Yes, okay, so one thing it could work for, very simple, but if we had nothing else, it's published or set since the year 2020. So this was obviously published like last week. So definitely works. Or we have favorite genre, which we can use for pretty much everything I'm gonna read in here. Like, I mainly want to read romance. That is my favorite genre. Super simple. We also have like summer, which I guess is like summer vibes. It is 7:12 p.m. And so obviously in 24-hour readathons, normally you set a time and you just read for 24 hours. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna give a shit about the time and I'm just gonna read until tomorrow night, whenever I wanna stop, whether that's at 7 p.m. or midnight, whatever. I will just be reading until tomorrow night. I don't have any other plans, but I do think I might like watch something or whatever. I don't want to be super strict about it, but I do want to read a lot. So we're gonna start with this. I don't even know like what other book I necessarily would like to fit in this readathon yet. In like an hour or whatever, like once I think about it a little bit more, I'm gonna catch up with you and we might do like the color wheel and pick up, you know what? We're gonna do the color wheel right now. I can do it on my phone. I don't have to go anywhere. Color wheel picker. Okay, wheel of colors. Oh yes, I've seen this before. So we have this and I'm spinning it. Deep purple. Okay, interesting. I love deep purple, but I don't know if we necessarily have a lot of books. Okay, so I think I might also look through my ebooks and audiobooks because I have 2 physical books, and like while I do want to read them, I'm not like 100% sure I want to read them in this specific video. Loads, I will show you the 2 books that I do have. So the first one that like works technically the best based on the color of the cover, this whole thing is deep purple basically, like the dress, the background, everything is deep purple and it's really pretty, and it is When a Duke Loves a Woman by Lauren Heath, which like sounds fucking amazing. I love Lauren Heath. I would love to read a historical romance, like everything, yes. The only issue is this is the second book in the series and I have not read the first. And I do, obviously, as you might know if you watch a lot of my videos, I do very often read historical romance series out of order. And while there's not really an issue with it, I've gotten used to it, I just find it funny and like whatever, I don't care. I still feel like it's stupid because like I do want to read the first book. I think I even mentioned it in another one of the vlogs, but I did not get to it. I basically decided to go with a different book instead. And so I have not read the first book. I own it physically too, and that one is not deep purple. I need to think about it. And the other book does not have like the whole color is not deep purple, but like our main character's shirt is deep purple, and like some of the flowers and some of the tones are deep purple as well. And I think it doesn't have to be that the whole cover is deep purple. It can be just like one thing. Yeah, I think, you know, I'm not gonna bore you with my decision making. I will just think about it and I'll decide, and I'll let you know when we pick a book.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning.
Hey everyone, so I don't have any reading updates yet. I basically haven't started. And it's 9 p.m., but it's okay. I've been having a nice chill evening and I do have some updated plans and I know what I'm doing a little bit more. So obviously we're reading this, but you already know that. So I actually came up with the perfect book for the deep purple prompt, and that is an audiobook that I have, which is The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. So this is a pretty small image, but pretty much the whole thing is deep purple, and so I was like, obviously I can pick a book that has a little bit of deep purple, but this just is perfect, and I do want to start reading some books with some fall vibes, and like while I still kind of want to read a few summery books before the month is over, like I do kind of want to start reading fall books as well, and so I think it's gonna be really fun. It's also a super short audiobook, or like not like super short, but like shorter than most, which we love to see. As I was searching for the book for this prompt, the first one I thought of before this book is actually, so this is Ever After by F.D. Lukens. So that looks like that. It's an even tinier cover, but it is available on Scribd as an audiobook, and it's not too long either. And so I think I will try to fit it into this readathon, because I've been wanting to read this for ages. I've been wanting to read fantasy, and I kind of started some fantasy in the other vlogs, but I haven't finished anything yet, and I just like, oh my god, like, it is time, for fuck's sake. So I want to read this, and so obviously like that, it works for multiple prompts. I didn't really pick a prompt before picking the book, because again, like I just found it first for the deep purple thing, but it works for people on the cover, maybe multi-perspective, because that can be just 2 points of view, and I'm pretty sure it might have 2 points of view, but I'm not like 100% sure. I think, well, oh, I just noticed there's third person and first person, so obviously one of those is gonna work. There's mood read is a prompt I noticed, and features a romance, which I also didn't see before, so obviously, again, like, I can read whatever the fuck I want, but we're still gonna look at the prompts because it's fun. I do think I might start with this. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to annotate it, because I've been really into annotating, and I annotated a book in one of the other vlogs, and I've just been doing that a little bit more the past few months, and I absolutely fucking love it, and I don't want to do it with every book, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it with this, but then I saw the fucking dedication, and like, fuck. We're gonna be annotating this book, and hopefully that's a sign that we're gonna love this book as well. I don't know why I'm saying we, but yes. So I think I'm gonna watch some more YouTube and start this book, and probably some audiobooks, and update you soon, again, with some actual reading. I swear we're gonna do some of that, so yeah. Hi everyone, so I'm wearing the same hoodie, but it is the next day, and I finally have some updates. So I am updating you quite late in the day, and I have decided that we're gonna do a 48-hour readathon instead. I kind of did think this might happen, but I don't think I mentioned that it could happen. Either way, you probably will have seen it on the thumbnail or the title and whatever already, so I just don't want to stop, and I have been reading a little bit slow and I don't want to rush. And I also just want to talk to you about the books that I'm reading more, and so we're gonna read until tomorrow. I also want to do like some writing and stuff like that. So let's start with The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas. So I got to page 94, so not like super far, but basically 1/4 of the way through, which isn't a lot, but I'm absolutely in love with it. It is so wonderful. I've been annotating it and I've like underlined so many things, and I mentioned this in the other video for Bookoplathon that I was basically trying to experiment with annotating without tabbing because I was just struggling to annotate even when I wanted to because I just literally did not have the energy. And then I thought, you know what, I could just literally not tab because I felt like I don't like the way it looks on paperbacks, but I basically only have paperbacks and I don't have any tabs in colors that are actually pleasant. It's just kind of like these super bright colors, you know? I started doing that and I'm doing that in here and I'm loving it. And so I have different colors for how I underline and they're really bright and it's easy to find anyways. I'm in love with it and I'm so happy and like it's just the best thing ever. So what basically ends up happening in here is it's obviously an adult contemporary romance, and we have Rosie and Lucas, and they basically, Rosie, her apartment has a giant hole in the ceiling, and so she decides to use her spare key to her cousin's apartment and to just, you know, spend a little bit of time there until things get fixed. And her cousin is away. That is actually the main character from the first book, The Spanish Love Deception. And so she does not know that Rosie is staying there yet, basically, because it just happened. Rosie is there and she hears someone trying to get in the door, and turns out it was Lucas, Rosie's best friend's cousin. And so they didn't know what was happening, and Rosie has a crush on this guy from basically just like seeing him on Instagram, because like he's obviously part of her best friend's family, and so she like knows of him and she just is attracted to him and intrigued by him, but she never actually met him in person, and now she meets him in person and she's a nervous wreck, and he is a total, like I said, golden retriever, super charming and flirty and talkative, and so that is kind of the energy here, which I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I am so fucking here for it. I actually fucking love that dynamic, and so many things that Rosie does or says are painfully relatable, and I love and hate that at the same time. So there have been, I literally started like, I didn't expect to have that in a romance necessarily, because like I did have it in some other books, but I have one color of like a pen to underline that is just for things that I relate to. And it is just so fun and lighthearted and funny, and I'm already so fucking invested in the romance. So I've mentioned it before that I kind of struggle with slow burn sometimes, that it's super frustrating and I don't always enjoy it, but the thing is, it just has to be done right, you know, and I think that Elena Armas actually does a really wonderful job, like giving you these little moments and making the main characters actually spend time together, but without them actually, you know, like kissing, or, you know, it just gets close to it and whatever, and it is like torture, but it's super fun, you know, so I think it's gonna be fucking incredible. I do hope it's not like super hardcore slow burn, but I'm just having the best time and my arm is absolutely dying. I have been obviously taking this book pretty slow, even though like I'm having a fucking wonderful time. The pacing so far has been just super engaging and everything. Since I'm annotating it, it's just taking a really long time, but I'm really happy with it anyways, because it's just making me like it's just allowing me to really savor it and really like process every scene, and I'm absolutely living for that. And so I did actually finish a collection of poetry that I didn't tell you about, and I just thought it'd be better to update you once I finish it, because I just didn't expect to, I didn't really have any, I just knew that I wouldn't really have any like new thoughts after finishing it. So I basically, it happens quite often that on NetGalley, if you didn't know, that's a website where reviewers can request like early copies of books. They often have poetry on Read Now, which means you don't have to request it, you can just literally download it. And so I found this book there, which is called What the Moon Gave Her by Christy Stein. And I loved the cover and the title, and so I thought, you know, I'm gonna check this out, and it sounded really nice from the description, and so I read that, and I have kind of mixed feelings about it. So I enjoyed it, but I also just had some issues with it. So I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars, because there were some lines that really resonated with me, and like at the beginning I was enjoying it so much, and to be honest, that's always heartbreaking when I start a collection of poetry and, you know, there's a lot of poems that really hit me hard, and it's like it just makes me feel a lot of emotions and whatever, and then it just takes a turn and I no longer feel connected to it. I don't like it, and that just really sucks, and that kind of happened in here. And I was really enjoying the writing because I felt like it was just kind of like more detailed and in depth than a lot of the like modern day poetry collections that are just super straightforward. And I personally love shit like metaphors and rhymes and things like that, and so I felt like I was seeing that in here. But the rhymes kind of like throughout the book, it just became a little bit like, not necessarily repetitive, but just a little bit repetitive and way too much. The rhymes a lot of the time just made no sense, and it didn't fit in the poem, and it just felt forced. And so the writing didn't work for me anymore, like in a lot of the poems, and at the same time there were a lot of poems that I just could not even connect to emotionally, and so it's like I need one or the other at least and it just was not happening. So I don't regret reading it or anything, but at many points while reading it I was just like, I just want this to be over, I want to move on to the other books, but at the same time I was just like, it's short, it's poetry, I wanted to finish it, so I did. So that's that, and it's fine. But yeah, the last thing that I did actually start as well is The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. So I read 20% of that, so not that much has happened, but like a decent amount, you know. And I think I am intrigued. I'm not like in love with it or anything, but I'm excited to see where it goes. So this is an adult paranormal romance, and to be honest, I remember pretty much nothing about the XX. Like, I think I really enjoyed it, but it was not memorable at all, clearly, because I literally remember nothing. And so I'm not like, I don't have super high expectations from this book. I just hope it's gonna give me some nice fall vibes, and that it's gonna be fun and entertaining and easy to read. And again, it is short, so I'm hoping it's gonna be fun, and you know, but we kind of have like a slight like dislike to love situation in here. And our 2 main characters are both witches, and the heroine is living in her hometown. She basically works at this shop and it's going well, and she decides to like tutor these young witches as well. And then this guy comes to town, and he is the brother of the hero of the first book. And so our heroine knows of him, and she knows that he did not turn up to the wedding of the main couple, which is actually hilarious because that's exactly what happened in the American Roommate Experiment. So he is the cousin of the of the first book's heroine, but he did not turn up to the wedding of the main couple of the first book, so that is really funny. But yes, so our heroine in this book, she is kind of like angry at him a little bit that like she was, you know, she was the maid of honor and she cares about the couple and whatever, and so she's really angry at him that he never showed up. And so I wouldn't call it hate to love, but it's just kind of like they don't really like each other that much type of a situation. And from what I saw in the synopsis, they're gonna have to work together against some kind of like new magical danger. I think I'm gonna go have some dinner or a snack and then I'll get back to reading. I do think that I'll pick up the American Roommate Experiment again. But actually the last thing that I want to mention is a book that I think I'm going to start that's another audiobook. Well, I actually am going to, I'm actually going to continue it because I started it a few weeks ago and I've been trying to get to like finish it, you know, but I just haven't had the opportunity. And so we're gonna finish A Show for Two by Tashi Boyan, and I think I'm gonna describe it later because I feel like this update has been really long and my arm is hurting a lot. But yeah, that's gonna be happening as well. So yeah, I'll talk to you soon when I do some more reading.
Turn this room, turn it to an ocean. Let me float around. Eyes closed, like we're dreaming even when we're not. You and me got a whole other meaning, I don't know how. You and me just know how it feels when we're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. We can do nothing at all.
Hi everyone, so it is the next day now. I'm also updating very late again, so I'm sorry the updates have been just kind of a mess, but it is what it is. I hope it's gonna be an enjoyable, cozy vlog anyways, and I do have some updates. So I finished a book that I did mention to you, but I just kind of ended up reading it without having the energy to film, and I was just like, it's okay, I can read it and then talk to you. And I just tried to take things easy because like basically what happened is I was super excited for this readathon obviously, and I was reading, having fun, but then yesterday in the afternoon / evening I got super tired and anxious, and I just had absolutely no energy, and this morning started off like that as well. But then I did my makeup and I listened to some music and I am feeling better, so I will keep reading until just later tonight. Whenever I want to stop, I'll stop. But I read the entirety of The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. So at the beginning I talked to you and I'm pretty sure I just said something pretty neutral, that like it was an entertaining time, it was fine, I wasn't like super excited for it, and I don't know why I didn't feel super excited before reading the book. I just did not remember having strong feelings about the XX, which I think I mentioned to you. But then I looked at my review on Goodreads and I actually gave it, like I gave it 4 stars, which I did remember. But my review was, I had so much fun with this, a second chance, spooky, witchy, lighthearted paranormal romance. So obviously not super detailed, but I clearly did enjoy it. I just did not remember anything, and I think it's because like I read a lot of other books around that time that I completely adored maybe, or whatever. But either way, I loved The Kiss Curse. Like I definitely loved it even more than the XX, even if I do remember it a little bit like worse than I enjoyed it. Like I still loved this so much and I'm so happy. So it ended up being like a 4.5 stars for me. And sure, like the beginning was not like super exciting, and the main thing that like held me back I think at the beginning is because I wasn't sure how I felt about the hero Wells in this, because he's kind of uptight and he basically is from this family that, like I mentioned, I think is like the hero Reese, the hero in the XX. Wells is his brother, and so their family is just kind of like not amazing. Their dad is kind of a dick, and so Wells is all about tradition and rules, and that is always kind of a red flag when it goes like in specific ways, obviously not like a general thing, but the way that he was like acting about it, how he has to come to this small town and make sure everything's in order, and just kind of judging the way that he knows they run it, and you know, so he was just judgmental, uptight, and that kind of a vibe, which like absolutely not. But he definitely grew on me. He had a lot of character development. He just kept getting better as the story went on, and I absolutely loved Gwen in this. I immediately was just like, she is wonderful. I did not remember anything about her from the first book. Again, my memory about that one is just trash, non-existent. But she, like, oh my gosh, she is just flirty and charming and so fun, and she's also bisexual. Well, it's actually not like labeled specifically, but it's clearly like mentioned multiple times that it's clear she is queer in some way. She just immediately was absolutely iconic. And Wells, however, did show up and show me that like he was worthy of her throughout the story. Like there was a moment when he said something and there was a scene and I was like, it was just really hot and I was like, okay, like, okay, you're acceptable. I can, yes, okay, I can do this. And then just near the end and everything, like he was fucking awesome. Like he obviously did some, like a few dumb things, but he definitely grew on me. So I loved both of our main characters in the end, and the romance is just like so sweet, so fun, and the book is really lighthearted and fast-paced and funny and entertaining and just like such an easy read. And I feel like it was just really quick to read. There weren't any slow parts in here. The witchy magical vibes were there and some like paranormal elements and plot points, but it didn't take away from the romance. So like everything that I want from a paranormal romance, this gave me that, and I'm super fucking happy. So I loved this, and now I am super excited for the next book in this series. If there's gonna be one, I really hope so, because Reese and Wells have another brother, and I really hope he's gonna have his own book because he is very intriguing. So I'm really happy. So this is finally another book that I finished. So I haven't finished anything else. And I didn't really end up reading the the American Roommate Experiment in the end, because I'm obviously fucking loving this book, but I also just kind of want to take it slow and really savor it. And since I was super exhausted, I did not have the energy to read physically and annotate, and I didn't want to like stop doing that, you know? So I do definitely want to read more of this today, but I think I'm not going to put pressure on myself to finish it or get to a certain point. I think what I'm just gonna do is, since I definitely do want to share my thoughts on the whole book with you, I'm just going to like talk to you about it in the last Bookoplathon vlog that's gonna come after this and share my final thoughts in there and make sure that I finish it, whatever. I do think I'm gonna read more of it today, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna finish it. So that's this. But I basically, before that, I want to focus on two more things. I would love to finish at least one more book, Girls Weekend by Cmnes Costa. I have it on my Kindle. It's on Kindle Unlimited and it is 180 pages. So it's obviously a very short book that I could definitely read. My camera died on me, but so it works for the prompt of under 300 pages and I'm sure other things, but whatever. I basically have had this book on my TBR for a while. Like I heard of it a while ago, but I'm not sure if I added it to my TBR, but I forgot about it either way. And Riley from Riley and Marie just read it in actually a 24-hour readathon vlog, and since it's obviously like a novella, it is just a perfect thing to read that I could definitely finish very quickly and have a lot of fun with. So it's basically, I think, like a monster fantasy, romance, paranormal something. And after the Kiss Curse, I definitely am in the mood for more either fantasy, paranormal stuff, whatever. And I also just really want to start reading the fall books already as well. Yeah, that is my update for now. I do think I want to watch some things. Yeah, so I'll talk to you soon, hopefully with, you know, a more put together update. But yeah, slight change of plans, or like not really, but I picked this up again and I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. Where do I even begin? Like, I am loving this book so fucking much, but it's not even just that. Like, you know, as I started the book and I talked to you, I expected that it would just be a wonderful romance, that I would just have so much fun reading it, you know, and like I'd root for the characters and I would just, you know, all of that. What I did not prepare for is how hard it would hit me in my feels and make me so incredibly emotional in a way that I absolutely was not prepared for. Like, literally, the reason why I can't read this in one sitting, why I can't finish it in this vlog and today and whatever, is because it's literally making me feel so many intense emotions that I'm literally like struggling to handle because it's hitting me right in like the most sensitive parts of my heart in a way that is like extremely beautiful but so intense that I don't know what to do with myself. Like, I told you, I think, that I am using like a pen that is like, you know, I relate to this, whatever, but it just keeps on coming. Like, and it's like with, like, what the fuck? You know, like, what the fuck? And it's so wild because, like, oh my gosh, like, where do I even begin? This whole month, I'm like, I want to focus on, like, self growth and discovery and whatever I should call it, you know? And so I purposefully have been reading some books that I feel like I need to read that are emotionally intense, but like relatable and maybe a little bit painful, but just things that I need to read about. And so I've been reading books like that, but I did not expect this one to be it. I just thought it'd be a lighthearted, fun, wonderful rom-com, but it's like telling me everything that I need to hear. What the fuck? Like, and that's like, so I, first of all, expected that to be the case with the writing. So I don't know if I mentioned that our main character in this, our heroine, Rosie, she is an author and she published a book and it went pretty well, but she's basically struggling to write her second book. Oh my god, I wrote a book and I self-published it and it did not exactly become successful or make me any money, so I could not quit my normal job and focus on writing. But I am struggling to write a second book or any book whatsoever, and I am, I think, having a lot of the doubts and fears that she has. I struggle to talk to people about it. She struggles to talk to people about it. And the way that Lucas reacts to it, and now like Lena from the first book, her best friend, the way she's reacting to it, like, it's hitting me so hard and I don't know how to handle it. And then there's the aspect of the fucking love story and they haven't even like they're just roomies and besties, you know, they're becoming friends, and the way that Lucas talks to her and like I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. Just, I can't, you know? Like, I feel like there's a lot of things that I need to learn, that I've been trying to learn, that I've been talking about in therapy and processing on my own, thinking about on my own, talking about it with my best friends and whatever, and, you know, I'm trying to learn that I deserve good things, and I deserve to fall in love, and whatever. And, you know, the way it's written in here, those aspects, I'm literally gonna cry. I'm going to cry. And it's just the beginning. I'm not even halfway through. I got to page 120. Like, that's nothing compared to all of this. And I'm just like, it's just going to keep going further and further. And I'm like, I am going to explode. So I can't read this book in one sitting because I would explode. I would just pass out and die from all the emotions. So that is how this is going. I feel like even though there's some differences between me and Rosie, so much in common in a way that I have not read in a book in ages. And again, it's just so unexpected. Because, like, I had this exact experience with Damaged Goods by Talia Hibbert, my favorite romance of all time, pretty much, and I reread that book in July. I vlogged about it, and I did that knowing that it would hit me hard in the feels, that it was everything that I needed to hear, that it's just, like, a love story that just soothes my soul and speaks to me on a deeper level than any other book. And so I was ready, you know, even though, like, I wasn't really ready, because you can never be fucking ready for that. Like, I did that, and I read it, and I survived, and it was the best thing ever, and I almost passed out a million times, but I was prepared, and I was not prepared here. I didn't know if that made any sense, but, yeah, so I think I'm gonna read a little bit more, but after that, I have to put it down, because, like, wow, it's a lot. But I just, like, you know, the universe is like, you're fucking reading this, bitch, and it's just gonna be, like, it's just gonna hit me in the face. Like, it was just like, you need that experience. So, yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to talk to you about. So we're gonna chill for a bit, read something that doesn't fully kill me, and then, yeah. Oh my god, no, because the thing is, last thing I'm gonna say about this is, like, holy shit, I did not expect, like, I mean, it makes so much sense, but, you know, the thing is, I just keep trying to figure out that, you know, like, I feel like this is something a lot of people really relate to, but I'm just like, I am someone who always wants the best I want the best for the people that I love. I want them to have the best fucking things in life, and I want them to be happy. I want them to be loved and cared for in the most wonderful way, and then actually feeling like I deserve the same thing and believing it entirely is so fucking hard. And then reading about a character who is a lot like me, who is having those same fears, and seeing her, like, you know, finally start to find the love that she's been dying for, it's like, I obviously am rooting for her so hard and I want that for her so badly. And then I'm like, how can I then say that I don't deserve the same if she is so much like me and I completely want her to be happy more than anything right now as I read the book? It's like, I can't deny it. And so it's like a really powerful thing that is also so fucking intense that I don't know how to handle it. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up. This is a lot. I will talk to you later. So
So what? If you're stupid, then you know it's nothing wrong. But you and me got a whole other meaning. I don't know how. But you and me just know how it feels when we're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you.
Hi everyone, so it is quite a while later. It might be like 2 weeks later. I did this readathon and this vlog I feel like is gonna be so chaotic, so I'm sorry about that, but I have 2 more books that I want to talk to you about and like wrap up my thoughts on them. So the first one that I think I'm going to talk about is A Show for Two by Tashi Boyan. So I mentioned it like super briefly to you. I never ended up talking about it afterwards. So let's talk about what this book is even about, because I don't think I ever told you that. I do know that I talked about it in a different video, but not in this one. This is a YA contemporary romance following Mina and Emmett, and basically it is kind of inspired by the experience that the author had, which was that Tom Holland, he went to Tashi Boyan's high school to like see what it's like to be an American student at to be a student at an American high school. Like, that actually happened and it was at this author's school, and Emmett is a British actor who comes to the school to see what it's like for like an indie film and whatever. And so we have Emmett, who is this actor, and he actually doesn't entirely feel great about acting at this stage in his life, and he's really into photography, but he feels like he can't pursue it because his mom is super focused on his acting career, and he has to do all these interviews and all these movies and all these things, and he's getting really famous and whatever, and he just really wants to pursue photography as well. And then we have Mina, who is super passionate about making films with her best friend. They're like I don't know what the name is, like the leaders of their like theater club or whatever it's called at their high school, and so they want to make this short film for this competition that they've never won, and it would help them a lot if an actual actor starred in their film. And so they make a deal that Emmett is going to be in this film so that he helps them win, and Mina is going to help him with this like photography project that he has to do like in New York, and she's a New Yorker, and so she, you know, like knows where to go, and he obviously does not, and so they do all these things together. It is a little bit of like dislike to love dynamic, and it is just so fun. Like, I enjoyed it a lot. It is just like a lighthearted, super fun YA contemporary that I really recommend, and as someone who loves all types of art, whether it's films, photography, books, whatever, I love it all, and so that being a part of the story made it even more just like wonderful to read. Also, if you like reading books that are set in New York, it does obviously play quite a big role in it, and I just really liked it. And it's also about the theme of like dreams and, you know, having a dream that you've had for a long time and then like kind of changing your mind about it in like a specific way. It does also explore like toxic family dynamics, so it does have that a lot, and it was kind of difficult to read at times, so warning for that. But I feel like it was done really well, and so yeah, I loved the aspect that Mina had to kind of figure out if, you know, what she wanted was really what she wanted, and Emmett kind of had a similar thing, and so I loved those journeys that the main characters had as well. So definitely check it out. And the other book that I started talking to you about was Girls' Weekend by Cmnes Costa. So this is a bit of a strange one. I mean, it is basically an adult, like, monster romance. And it's like a novella length, but it follows these three girls and it has like three perspectives of all three of them. It follows them through this weekend where they go to this like resort that is supposed to be like a nudist resort where there's like a lot of orcs and like some other random creatures, but mainly orcs, and they just come there to have fun and basically have like a one-night stand. I was really intrigued at first. I was like, this is gonna be a little bit ridiculous, but like purposefully and just super fun and funny and a little steamy, you know, that's just the vibe it gave me, and I was excited. But I feel like it just did not work that it had all three of the perspectives, and they were different enough that was not an issue, but it just felt unbalanced, and one of the characters had a bit of a different story and I didn't really like it, and the two others I really liked the potential romances that could develop, but it just did not give me enough space to really invest in each of the relationships because just there was not any space at all. Like, it's not even just that it's a novella, it's that like it is trying to be a novella following three storylines, and that just did not work, and I didn't hate it but it was just not as good as I hoped it would be from the beginning that I enjoyed. But yes, so this is the 48-hour readathon. I did not end up reading as much as I would like, and I also did not end up updating you properly in any shape or form. So next time I do a readathon like this, I'm gonna try to do a better job, but I still really enjoyed the books that I did get to read, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you made it this far, leave a butterfly emoji down below. That was the first thing that I thought of, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye!